Welcome, RoundTable family, to another exciting episode of the Sports RoundTable Trio Edition. I'm your host, Rowdy, of course, as always, joined by my co-host, Little Bro Coop, and Big Boy. How are we doing, boys?
Good.
Post
Good.
Super Bowl, baby. We didn't have a
Oh,
Tuesday show.
Sorry we
but
missed the Tuesday show.
we're
We had
good.
some things going on, but
We're getting
this
it.
busy week. Hopefully, the Tuesday shows are going to be live, coming to you every week in the future. That is the plan and the goal, bring you that live show. But man, it's a packed one. They already mentioned it. It's going to be a lot of Super Bowl recap, since we have not recapped it yet since this past Sunday when the Chiefs were able to squeak it out in an overtime thriller against the San Francisco 49ers in Vegas. It was crazy. We'll get all about it. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the games of the weekend. We got one college basketball game of the weekend. It's a big one. Includes one of UT's own former head coaches. And then we're going to talk a little bit of some college baseball. It gets going this weekend. There's a big tournament down in Arlington with about six different teams that are playing. Some big dogs. We're going to hit on that. And, of course, we're going to have figuring out the 40, talking UT basketball. They've been off this whole week, but they got some big-time matchups coming, especially at number 3 Houston on Saturday, I believe. I think that is.
yeah.
And
At
then
noon. I think it's at noon or 1.
Yeah, I think 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then at the end, we got our special roundtable chat with Jared Mackenzie. He's in the Nationals organization. Stay tuned for that. And then finally, we've been talking about it since before Super Bowl started. The coaches segment is here, and we are coming guns a-blazing. Our first guest is a good one in the college ranks, the JUCO level. Could easily be at the D1 level if he wanted to, but stay tuned for him to join us later. It's going to be a good one, boys. But, man, what are our quick and just off the top thoughts on the Super Bowl? Coop, I know Coop's been steaming just for the last week.
Well, let me tell you, none of this is going to be quick. I'll start it off there. Where do I start, guys? Do I start at Brock Purdy's average performance, or do I start with the Chiefs being the most penalized team for offensive holding, and they didn't get called for it one time? Where do I start? I don't know. We'll start off with the holding calls, first of all, okay? The whole game, I was like, wow, this is odd. The Chiefs are the most called holding team in the league, okay? And they didn't get called for holding one time in 5 quarters against the 49ers. And guys, there's clips that is, come on. We're not going to put it on the refs, but I'm just saying.
The refs let him play, though. They didn't call many flags at all.
Just going to throw that out there. Now, let's go flip to Brock Purdy, okay? Well, this is going to get me heated. So, Brock Purdy threw – hold on. I flipped to the thing. Brock Purdy threw for 255 yards, okay? Pretty good. Christian McCaffrey was the leading receiver on the 49ers team for 80 yards, okay? You take away Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy has 175 yards in the biggest game of his life. What happened? What happened, Pat McAfee? Huh? What happened, Pat McAfee?
You realize Brock Purdy finished the year as a top 5 quarterback rating-wise. You do know that, right?
Yeah, because he has guys like CMC he can check down to get 80 yards.
And so do the 4 quarterbacks in front of him.
Oh, no, not like that. They don't. Not like that. They don't. They don't have CMC right there. They don't have Ayuk. They don't have Debo. No.
I do agree in some parts of that, because Brock wasn't he did kind of what Cam said. He's not gonna win you the game. He can go out there and the only touchdown pass they had was that throwback by Jenkins.
They had 2. Brock did throw one.
Oh yeah, Brock did end up throwing one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but the first one was like a lateral pass, whatever.
Hey,
but
and by the way,
offenses.
The way, that was a 25 of McCaffrey's receiving yards. So go ahead and subtract 80 from that. because 25 of those came on the Jennings touchdown pass, Coop. So
Okay, so
Get your shit
80
right.
minus 25. Okay, 80. Okay,
He had about
still.
200.
Okay, still 200 in the biggest game of his life. Not only that, listen, there's a third down play. All right, okay, take it back. 49ers defense did great. Okay, I don't care what anyone says.
If Greenlaw wouldn't have got hurt, hey, they had 0 points when
They let him
Greenlaw
go
got hurt.
down and score at the end there, but they held him very well, very well. And to see that I'm pretty sure I saw that, right? Their defensive coordinator just got
He
canned,
fired.
right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. He just held freaking Patrick Mahomes to like 25 points in overtime too. Come on. But
I
Okay,
haven't watched a lot of 49er stuff, but that must have been something coming the whole year. I mean, that's
What? What's here, Kate?
So you want to give credit to the 49ers defense, but you want to give credit to the Chiefs defense who have stopped three of the top five scoring offenses in the league to hold under 20 points. All three of them.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying that.
I'm fine with Brock Purdy didn't play his best game. Did he play below average? No, he did not.
Yes.
Like he
did,
played good enough for them to win.
He didn't make reads that a quarterback needs to make. There's the biggest third down play in the game.
That was a great blitz, though. That was a great blitz.
That was something that
That's Chiefs, your job, bro. That is your job. You pick up that pre-snap. Come on.
No one's picking that up pre-snap. Not only because the Chiefs haven't really done that all year. Never once does the DB go right there in the middle. They always talk about him. The DBs go, no, that was the DB who did it.
On the third down I'm talking about, there was
the big third down. The DB came in the B gap.
Yes,
he came in between Trent, and Trent could only take. Trent took the guy on the outside, and it was wide open.
That's why it switched. They were expecting that linebacker to come, and the linebacker came, but he went out instead of the corner going outside the tackle.
I thought the linebacker blitzed.
No, it was
the corner 22.
Yeah, give Brock some credit.
So the corner had a corner blitz. What did the linebacker do? The linebacker blitz too, or
he came? He came too, but he came around.
Oh, he's the one that came around.
Okay.
He's the one who tried to go around the tackle, and that's what cleared the B gap for the corner.
Anyway.
Okay. That was a good blitz, man.
Outside of that one, there's still plays in that game where you had to have better reads pre-snap, and he did it. He did it.
Listen. Did he lose them the game?
No, but he didn't win them the game.
Did he turn the ball over?
No, but
who
turned
the ball over?
Yeah.
But Christian McCaffrey did, but also,
okay.
but that doesn't matter because the Chiefs had 2 turnovers as well.
And the kicker.
The
kick returner.
And how many yards did McCaffrey have on the ground? Like, if you want to
what do you mean? How many yards he had on the ground? He rushed for 80 yards.
Because he ran the ball 22 times.
Okay.
He averaged his lowest game of the season.
Yeah, that's pretty average.
80 yards is low, huh?
For McCaffrey,
run the ball 22
he
times.
He also led the team in receiving. He's a running back. He led the team in receiving.
But that's not anything new. Everyone knows he's led the team in receiving almost all year.
Okay,
especially when George Kittle doesn't get a catch. I would hope McCaffrey.
Well, whose fault are you saying it is that they lost?
I'm just saying if you want to say Brock Purdy played below average, you need to say Christian McCaffrey played below average too.
Okay, but
he's the one who fumbled right there outside the 10-yard line.
Right. All right.
Right. He doesn't fumble, they won the game.
Let me ask you.
Pacheco did too.
Pacheco did, and
fumbled
Patrick
in the red zone.
They had 2 turnovers. Anyway, if it wasn't Brock's fault, which majority of people can put it on Brock, like that's the quarterback's role. You win as a quarterback and you lose as a quarterback. But who would you say whose fault is it?
I think they just got beat by a better team. And you got by the current best player in the league.
You think every side of the ball, everyone did the best that they could do for the 49ers?
What do you mean? They tried their best? Yeah, of course.
But you think they just got outplayed? Like no one played like completely dog.
I think it was the same as the Ravens, bro. Like you're gonna say Lamar Jackson played like shit.
Lamar shut down his leg. That's not even a question. Lamar.
Yeah, but Brock Purdy played better than Lamar, but no one wanted to
100%.
no one wanted to hate on
Brock Purdy
Lamar
played better than
when
Lamar.
no one wanted to hate on Lamar when he did it. It
But
was just
people
the
were hating on Lamar.
whole
Oh, I
team,
was
and
the
like
first person to hate on
I
Lamar.
think it just came
Lamar
down to the
shot down his
I
leg.
think it came to the same thing for the team as a whole. Like they just like the experience of the Chiefs being there, done that, like showed again.
And I
compared to
think
the other team.
both defenses. I mean, those were two great defenses.
The defenses played really well.
and
Chiefs defense is legit.
And you got to think about the turnovers that happened. The two that the San Fran had were way more of a turning point than the Chiefs had, right? The fumble,
the fumble
inside. No, the fumble inside the 10, and then the Chiefs
They didn't
had not.
score off of that though.
Huh?
I don't think they scored off of that.
I'm saying because it took
Chiefs
points
didn't.
away. It took points away from the offense. Like that's 3
Right.
points easy,
But
maybe 7.
the big-
but the next one,
bro.
the punt, the
punt.
Chiefs had not had done shit on offense, and you
they,
give them
they
the ball
came back
on the
and scored
20-yard
first
line.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15 20-yard line,
The
whatever
punt,
it was.
and it wasn't even a muff punt. It was a guy. He got hit on his
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
So the guy had to go for it. So it wasn't even like it was a muff punt.
The Pacheco fumble was big for the Chiefs too, though. They were going in to score.
Yeah.
And that was in the first quarter too. So
Let's talk about the overtime. You know, there's a bunch of talk of you know the 49ers taking the ball, right? New overtime rules. Both teams get the football no matter what. What did y'all think of that?
Shannon didn't know that. I don't care what he says, what
I agree.
anybody else says. He did not know.
I think so too. And,
Fuck no, he
there's
didn't.
a clip of the fullback. What's his name? Juice.
Use check. Yeah,
Yeah.
Juice.
He was like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, there's actually a clip of him. He was mic'd up. There was actually a clip of him saying that he had
No,
no.
I don't think Shano knew. I truly don't, because that
agree.
is something
I think so
you
too.
would tell your team leaders at least about.
Well, because right afterwards, Patrick Mahomes comes running back to the sideline like they want the ball. Like, what the heck? Like they want the ball.
I don't. Me personally, I don't think he.
I don't
knew.
think they knew.
I don't think he knew.
That's biggest stage. You got to be prepared of all things. I guarantee you, Andy knew that rule. He knew.
They said they had gone over it 3 or 4 times,
and they even knew that if they got the ball second, that they were going to go for 2.
Yeah,
they knew that. That's good coaching. That's coaching that you prepare 2 weeks for.
I truly don't believe he knew.
I don't think so either.
I think he did, but I just don't think he really planned it out. Like I think he had already planned out what he wanted to do before the game had happened, like a long time ago when the rules came out. Because you got to think the rules been out for 2 years now, but this just happened to be the first game in
used,
the
right?
playoffs. No, in the playoffs.
In the playoffs that it's used. That's what's the rules for us for the playoffs.
And so I think he had already had the plan of like no matter. I don't think he changed based off of playing the Chiefs. I think no matter who he was playing, he was doing the same thing too, because he thought it was best to get that ball, the third possession, and just win it right there, right? Because if
but if you don't score a touchdown, you're giving them a chance
they know
to win the
they're
game.
getting the ball either way. So
no, I know, but I think his thought process is that he had trust that they could go score a touchdown.
And then they had to get the stop.
But even if they gave up a touchdown, the 49ers get the ball back. And if they just score a touchdown there, it's over. It's dropped.
Or a field goal. Yeah.
It's dropped in.
But that's why the Chiefs said they were going to go for 2.
No, yeah, they used the whole quarter. There was no time left.
It doesn't matter. It would keep going.
Time.
There's no time.
The time does not matter. The time does not matter.
Even if they so hold on. Let me go back. So say 49ers score there, right?
Touchdown. Yes.
Chiefs go down. They take the same amount of time, and they go for 2. They get the 2-point, right? Now they're up by. Now they're up 1 with like 36 seconds.
No, the time.
There's no time.
So the game would have ended with a
2-point conversion.
Yes. Right. So that's even more my point. So I still don't understand why you take the ball.
His thoughts were, like you said, if they both score and say the Chiefs weren't going to go for 2 and kick the extra point and it's tied, it goes to the next overtime.
He was thinking that, but okay. He was thinking that they would just kick the extra point.
Correct. He was just playing to go to the next overtime where it's sudden death and it's San Fran will start the ball, and if they just put up points,
they were going to go for 2, and it was going to be either they get it and they win, or they don't get it and they lose.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Which I don't know. I think in that situation, it's one of those things you want to see what the other team does first.
I think so too.
So you
Especially Patrick Mahomes.
like they've said, you have we know if we need to go for it on fourth.
Yeah.
You know, like we have to score a touchdown. We're
Yeah,
going for we have 4 downs.
And then you kick a
100%.
field goal. Even worse, you kick a field goal. You have a great drive. You get stuff in the red zone. You have to kick a field goal, and now you're giving the ball to the best quarterback in the league right now, saying, "Oh, if I
He's
saw
what?
that face. I said in the league, league right now.
He
Not
almost
ever.
said it. He almost said
No,
it.
the best quarterback in the league. I made sure I said in the league right now, not ever. You're giving him the thought of, oh, I go down and score, we win.
And I have 4 downs on every drive.
Yes,
so
going for it every time. Yeah.
It's he can say that he knew and all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't you go over that with? I mean, Juszczyk is a team captain. He's a leader of that team. Yeah. It seems like that's something you would bring in all the offensive guys at least.
The whole team should know that. Whole team.
That's what I think.
I think even before the game. I mean, truly a team meeting. You know, let's go over the rules. You know, if this happens. You know, so I don't know that. I think that kind of got screwed up there,
but it you know, whatever happened, you know, Mahomes just showed that he is Mr. Clutch right now, and
hey,
he's
man, what a way to go out for the NFL season, though. I mean,
yeah. It was a great season.
I mean, it's a great game. I mean,
first half, right? Some people that don't want to see defenses, it's just boring game, right? And then it gets picked up second half, and the next thing you know, overtime, and overtime's intense, man. And
I hate the Greenlaw got hurt, man, especially the way he got hurt.
Oh my gosh!
Like if you're making a tackle and get hurt, that's one thing, man. But just running on the field, bro.
Those Chiefs guys, those Chiefs guys know how to party it up, though, man.
They were drunk.
Not only at the parade were they crazy, but that night, bro.
Fucking Kelsey's brother, Travis, man.
Oh, Jason is great, man.
Yeah.
Jason was absolutely sloshed. Travis was pretty hammered, but he was really hammered.
I wonder what drunk Tex Taylor got that night, baby.
She was there. She was there.
Okay, not that. Okay, the parade nights.
Tonight,
last night, yeah.
Oh, and that's sad, man. That people.
Yeah, that
got shot up there, man. That's sad, man.
Yeah, 100%.
But
well, in about 15 minutes or so, our first roundtable chat of our head coaches segment is going to be joining us, man. But kind of before we move on to our games of the weekend, kind of final thoughts on this NFL season and going in. I mean, shit, the combine's in 2.5 weeks, something like that. They were talking about.
I think it's next week.
It's insane. The NFL, man, they got the yearly calendar. They got that shit rolling. They make sure you're always talking about the NFL.
Which I guess is good for us, people like us who get to always talk about it. But
want to see.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, I'm excited. I like the combine. I've always liked watching it, and you know, it's then you'll have pro days and everything. But want to see how many Longhorns go up the ladder or down, or hopefully not down, but
11 dudes got invited, most ever, I want to say.
Wow. I think AD needs a good 40 time. I think he could really make some money.
I like it. I'd like it for the dudes that are like the Jay Woods of the world, or like the Ryan Watts, or like the Keelan Robinsons of the world, who get to go and try to, because that's where they slide into the day 3 last couple of rounds right there.
And people are gonna be like, "Damn, Keelan's fast."
Oh yeah, exactly.
He's gonna get that 40. He's gonna be impressed in that. So
yeah, but hopefully we kind of talked about it over the next couple episodes. We're gonna have an NFL segment that Coop's gonna be taking over and doing, of kind of breaking down what some of these playoff teams got coming back and what they're kind of losing. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And that's kind of a good way to see if we can expect some of these teams to be back. You know, I think 49ers are already Vegas odd favorites to win it all next year, which is just insane. I don't know how,
really,
how would you not give it to the Chiefs? Like, I don't think they're
losing. That's what they need. They just need more momentum, more.
Hey, I'm going to give y'all a quick hot take right here, right now. And it's going to be hit. Okay. If this guy stays healthy, okay, there's 2 people that beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Number 1, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Number 2,
Joey B.
Joey Shiesty, baby. Joey B. A healthy Joe Burrow with that Bengals team. Ooh, the Chiefs don't want to see them in the playoffs, baby. I'm going Joey B. If he stays healthy, I'm going Cincinnati next year,
I
baby.
think the Bengals just got some other stuff around the team they got to figure out, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Their defense.
I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is a free agent. I want to say, or either him or Boyd is one of the
Chase
two.
got to be coming up. He didn't get re-signed. I mean, he might have a year left on his rookie.
Well, they're saying all these big wide receivers who are going to be that could hit the market. Every single team's just going to hit them with the franchise tag. Every single one. So it's going to look like next year is going to be the massive market of wide receivers that just people go crazy over. But man, what
wait, did the Bengals go 8-8 last year or 9-7?
They finished
one
with
of those two, and they did that without Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow was hurt.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, their coach is good.
Joey
I'm
B.
just saying, like,
Patty don't want to see Joey B in the playoffs.
Patty ain't seen, or not Patty. Joey B ain't seen a Chiefs defense, a real Chiefs defense.
No, hold on, F that. No, Patty don't want to see the Texans in the playoffs next year, baby.
Here we go. Next, you just talking shit. You just talking jive shit.
That's like I don't even whatever.
Sorry, Cobb's not here, man. I had to do a little bit for him.
whatever. But man, it was a fun NFL weekend. We'll, of course, if any breaking news every week, we'll talk about it. Like we said, Coop's segments will be coming through as well. Combine talk, draft will be here before we know it. But getting into this weekend, man, our games of the weekend. College basketball was really, when it comes to ranked teams, there's really only one big matchup, and it's a top 4 matchup, both teams. And it is number 4 Marquette, Shaka Smart. Can you believe he's got them at number 4 now?
He'll mess it up.
He'll lose it.
But they go on the road to number 1 UConn, the Huskies. Number 1 versus number 4.
UConn all day.
Yeah, Shaka don't have a chance, bro. UConn's putting up 82 points a game, only giving up 64. It's ridiculous. UConn, 13-game winning streak. Marquette's playing good, though. They're on an 8-game winning streak, but 8-game winning streak. But Shaka at Texas too doesn't win the big games like this. UConn is like 23-2 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, so. They are 23-2. Marquette's 19-5.
Yeah,
good for Shaka though.
Oh, no doubts. But they always hang. The last couple of years, they've had squads like this, though. Like they've been
Marquette's always been there, bro. Yeah.
And they just they can't do it on the big stage. Then when it comes down to it, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Part of it, I guess. Part of it. Well, I'm gonna go UConn as well. I don't think Shaka Smart.
Yeah, I think
got
it. Clean sweep there, boys.
Clean sweep. It is. That's really the only big college basketball game. Of course, in a few minutes, we'll talk about
our horns, man.
UTs and figuring out the 40. We'll talk about that. But, man, college baseball, it's here this weekend. Big Boy's about to become the biggest college baseball fan ever.
I'm excited for UT. I'm be honest with you.
Texas based. You gotta at least pull for Texas.
Yeah, no, 100%.
They're kind of looking pretty good. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about them some and figuring out the 40. I mean, they got a cakewalk in the park compared to this tournament, which I think UT goes to a tournament next weekend or the weekend after. But this tournament at Globe Life, every year they have it, the Shiners Children College Showdown. These are the teams that we got there. We got Nebraska, Baylor, Oregon, OU, Tennessee, and Tech. 3 days, just a gauntlet, just 3 games, round robin. Let's see, Tech's got Tennessee the first night, then Nebraska, and then Oregon. I mean, so they're not playing the people that are in their conference pretty much, right? They play outside conference for the Big 12 guys. OU's got Oregon, then Tennessee, then Nebraska as well. But listen to this. Big Boy probably doesn't even know which one of these teams is the best, but I'm going to tell you what time a certain team's playing, and you can tell, and you'll be able to know who the best team is in this tournament. This team plays all 3 games. They play Friday night at 7 p.m., Saturday night at 7 p.m., and Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. They got
Okay.
all three night games. And I'll tell you the three. I mean, you're going to figure it out when I tell you this, but Friday night is Tennessee versus Tech. Saturday night's OU versus Tennessee. And Sunday night is Tennessee versus Baylor.
SEC.
That's
Yeah.
who you know the dog is of this tournament, boys. The alpha.
They were real good. When was it? Last year or the year before that? When
They've been good the past couple of years.
yeah, they had
No,
those pictures that had the hair.
Oh yeah, no, they got some dudes. I love watching their head coach too. He's crazy. He gets tossed and suspended all the fucking time, bro. Literally just all the time. Like that Tennessee Tech game, I guarantee you is gonna be just chirpy, so chirpy on Friday night. Tech's always got a squad, you know.
Yeah, they're always pretty scrappy.
Tadlock over there, which crazy real quick because our special guest coach is coming on in 8 minutes. Dusty Hart. He played, which I'm sure he may talk about it, but he played at Grayson under Tim Tadlock, right? Tim Tadlock was the head baseball coach at Grayson. And then Dusty was the assistant with him. And when Tim Tadlock left Grayson, he went to Tech. So that's who's at Tech now. So and then Dusty took over at Grayson.
Dusty took over.
Hey, you look at them like I always made the joke to him, like they look like twins. Like they're the same height, like everything. Tadlock's just a little bit older, but same height, like same person. Like it's insane. But man, it's gonna be a packed week. I'm ready to see some of those games. It's on.
Shout out Cole Posey too, Baylor baby.
Yeah.
Our roundtable chat, man.
Yeah, they got Nebraska, Oregon, and Tennessee. So, which I don't think Nebraska's too hot this year. They're always kind of a name. Baylor, we'll see. Right, struggled last year. Cole,
your boy will be there, huh? We had on earlier this year. When we have him on last week or the week before?
Yeah, Cole.
Yeah.
Baylor. And then Oregon's pretty scrappy too. So it's a good tournament to watch. It's on Flow Sports, Flow Baseball, which sucks. You got to pay for that shit.
I don't think I get that one.
Oh, wish it was just on ESPN Plus. But you know, if I get the subscription, I'll pass it along to you, big boy. Don't
give me the code. Yeah,
I got you.
Hold on, Ken. I have a question for you, man. You're a baseball guy. Okay, so basketball, obviously Big 12 runs things, right?
Yeah.
Football, outside of a couple SEC schools in football, they were not great this year. Baseball, who runs that?
SEC?
It's the SEC
by far, you think? So like a kid's, high school player, top high school player, he's going to an SEC school.
Well, he's going to probably get drafted, but he's probably committed to an SEC
school.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I was just trying to clarify
100%.
For people out there watching that don't know,
I don't think you knew.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But I mean, me as well as everyone else.
I knew that.
Me as well as everyone else, man.
Let's see. Let me pull up the rankings real fast. I want to see how many SEC teams are in it. I want to say it's a lot. Wake Forest is number 1, which is ACC, but then LSU, Arkansas 2, 3, Florida 4.
LSU won last year, right?
Florida's 4. Those 3 SEC teams right there. Vanderbilt 7, Tennessee 8.
Oh yeah.
Texas A&M 11, South Carolina 12, Future, SEC, Texas 13.
Not even close.
No. Who else?
I thought there would be some Big 12 people in there. Damn.
It's just Oklahoma State and Texas. That's it. Auburn's 23. Yeah. No,
that's weird. I thought
they got 25% of those rankings for sure. But real quick,
I didn't realize it was that one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's get over to figuring out the 40, right? We just talked about it. Texas baseball, high expectations. They got who are they playing this weekend, big boy? I feel like you got it pulled up over there.
Ooh.
UT baseball.
I don't know.
I'm
not going to sit here and lie to you. I got no idea.
I want to say it's like Samford. Who is it? I just looked.
I was actually looking for that. I couldn't find it.
They're at home at UT. It's dog water. It should be nice.
I want to see what LBJ does. I mean, he's back. We're gonna have good pitching. We got some guys coming back. What's that freshman's name? It's like 6'6" stud. Starts with a G. I can't remember his name, but he's
There's some good ones.
He got drafted, but he decided to come to Texas.
Yeah, LBJ will be obviously the main guy. Tanner Witt's still there, right? Coming back off injury.
Oh, they play San Diego, by the way.
San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tech is also ranked too. Tech's ranked 21. Texas is 16. Yeah. So, just another two Big 12 schools there.
Yeah, and I think Oklahoma State's in there, but they're always hype. They're the hype machine. They got the nicest facilities in America and get all the best players, and can't do shit second half of the season ever. But real
TCU's
quick,
good.
yeah. Oh,
TCU's 5.
Oh, yeah. TCU can always play. Ever since, I mean, even after their coach left to go to A&M, they've been dirty. But looking at Texas versus Houston, right? A rematch at Houston though this time. What are we feeling on that one? Houston number 3 now.
Yeah.
Well, I said UT was going to beat Houston this year, and I'll still stand by that. I think this week off is going to help. Hopefully we can get our, Hunter gets his stroke back, get Cedric a little more healthy. But man, we should have done it at home. It's going to be tough at Houston. But I'm excited to see him. They've had a week off. Hopefully that helped, like I said, get them healthy and maybe just work some things out, figure out the defense a little better.
Yeah.
But
Bro,
they need to win. I know that. They
got a big win there if they pull that one out.
And they've had some time off too. Who knows what that does to the team, right? I mean, it's not like they were flaming hot, but who knows? Like they haven't played in a minute. They could come out real slow, or they could just come out like on fire. It's going to be one of the two, and hopefully it's on fire. They need to come out hot and be able to score against Houston with how. I mean, Houston, man, they're good.
Yeah,
listen,
very good.
They got some dogs.
You say they need to come out and be hot. It's Dessou, bro. Dessou, that team is different when Dessou's shooting, man. Dessou last game was 7 for 10 for threes. He was dropping.
Well, he was the only reason they were in that last game, and he's the only reason they've been in.
He's the only reason they've been in a lot of games.
He needs the help. He needs Hunter to step up.
He does
Dessou's going to bring his game. Dessou's going to bring his game. Abe Smith's last couple of games has been a little hit or miss. I expect him to bounce back. He bounces back in the big games, but they need Dylan Mitchell has slowly been coming on. He's been averaging 12 over the last 3 or 4 games. He's slowly coming on. So that's big. If he can go put up double figures, and if Hunter can just make a couple threes, man, just make a couple threes.
To be honest, guys, I think they got to win at least 2 out of the 4 the last 4. And the last 4 are tough. I mean, you got Houston at Houston, right? Number 3. This one should be a win, right? Kansas State should be a win at home. That's
Kansas State's pretty good too, though.
Yeah, but that's one that they should definitely win at home. Okay. Then it goes to Kansas at Kansas. And then you got to come up to the last game in Lubbock at Texas Tech, which, by the way, inside info, so many people try to get to that game that you have to go to all the games to get in.
Really?
All right.
So that game's gonna be crazy. So
you heard it there first from Coop.
They already lost to him earlier this year.
I know, in Austin too. So
our coach is here. He is about to join with us right now. Let's let him in. Man, I'm pumped for this one. First coaches segment.
Sure.
Check out that background.
I like that.
Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah.
What up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Oh yeah.
Still got your head on the wrong way.
I mean, it's Big 12. I can't go. Can't ride with the Big 12 anymore.
JUCO, baby. They can't put no Big 12 hat on.
Exactly. Hey, just send me one of those blend buck hats and I'll rock it.
Yeah, I know you like that. I know you eyeing it.
Oh, I know. But joining us now, obviously, he's the current head coach at Blinn Junior College, one of the top 5 teams currently in the nation in the JUCO ranks. Is the very own Dusty Hart, my past coach over at Grayson Junior College. He was over at Grayson for 16 years, I think, as a head coach. Does that
Something
sound
like
about
that.
right?
16, 17. They started running together after a while.
No doubt. But how are we doing, man? How's the season going so far?
It's gone all right. I mean, we probably hadn't played as good as we would have liked to play every game, but this kind of early season stuff, we hit good one game, then we don't pitch, and the next game we pitch and don't hit. And
Oh yeah,
we weather of all things has really been hurting
I
us.
saw that.
Yeah, I feel like we play and then don't step on a field for 5 days and then try to play again, which isn't real conducive for baseball.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, kind of get it started off. This is our first coaches segment. We do a players one every week. We've had some past guys on, but you're our first coach coming on. But kind of what inspired you to get into the coaching world and kind of that move from being at Grayson so long over to Blinn?
I think more than anything, I just love baseball. I mean, once I kind of got done playing, and I played 2 years junior college and 2 years D1, and tried to play a year pro ball. Is kind of more like watching than playing, but it was kind of either get out or stay in somehow, just find a way to stay in. And so for me, college made sense. I didn't want to I like the idea of being able to pick my own players and not kind of being stuck with what you get. And I really wasn't too interested in the select ball world. Of course, back then it wasn't nearly what it is today, right? So it was really a smaller world, and but it's been good. I mean, it's hard to get your foot in the door, but it's one of those things you struggle for the first 4 or 5 years, kind of putting food on the table, but once you get that first job, first full-time paying gig, it's pretty hard to find a better job than I got, I think.
No doubt.
For sure, for sure. Reflecting on your journey as a head coach, which, like you mentioned, you've been doing it for a while, which is great. But what are some of the most significant lessons you've learned along the way?
Well, I would say humility is probably the biggest one. I mean, you get humbled a lot in this game, and we've had a lot of really good teams that didn't succeed as well as we thought they would, and so I think you got to learn from your losses, probably learn from your losses more than you do your wins. And I think you learn that relationships are way more important than winning and losing baseball games. I mean, I think when I first started, I just wanted to win at all costs, and it honestly, it didn't really matter to me anything else. We would do whatever we had to do to win baseball games. And I think with just experience and years, it's kind of like, man, that stuff's pretty secondary when you start talking about growing young men and leading young men, and hopefully good people. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's what really matters. And now, after 20 years, I'm starting to see some of my players' kids come through, which is crazy to me, because I still feel like I'm 30. But that's pretty cool. Just seeing guys growing to fathers and having kids and families, and so that's probably the biggest thing.
Thank you. We got Coach Dusty Hart of Blinn Buccaneers here, a head baseball coach. As a head coach, what do you consider the most important qualities or skills a player can possess to be successful?
I think the biggest thing you got to have is love of playing baseball. You can't force that. That's not something you can really, teach. I think that starts from the very first T-ball game. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake that most parents and a lot of kids make nowadays. Like, when you get to our level, it's not necessarily a game anymore. Like, you're fighting for your life out there. You're fighting for playing time. And when you look around and there's good players everywhere, there has to be some way to separate yourself. And a lot of times, it's, do you love to play? Do you love to practice? I think everybody loves to play in games, but do you like those 3 or 4 hour long practices every single day, even sometimes Saturday and Sunday? And that to me, I've said forever, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like if Mike Trout was standing right here, right now, and you asked him if he wanted to go fishing or go play golf or go take BP, I feel like he would say, I want to go hit. And
100%.
so that could be, that's total speculation, but yeah, there's a reason those guys always have a smile on their face when they're playing the game.
For sure. That's how it was all 3 years there. So, we know all about that. That's for sure. But kind of looking at this season, the team you got now, obviously very successful run last year, first year at Blaine, going all the way down to semis. Is that
Yeah, semifinal last
semis? Yes. Yeah. And just making that run first time and for Blaine to make that in a long time. What do you kind of consider the strengths of the team this year? You kind of mentioned getting off to a little rocky start here and there, and then also going into a massive series this weekend against the very own McLennan, another highly ranked team.
Yeah. The obvious strength is just we're old. We got a lot of sophomores. We only lost about three starters from last year's club, which really is a whole new set of challenges. I think last year we were kind of like, let's prove it to the world. We really had a chip on our, and guys, it was kind of easy to motivate them a little bit because everybody was kind of looking past us and we were the underdog. And this year it's literally flipped the script on its head. Like, every game we've lost so far, the other teams almost acted like it was a walk-off win or something. They're jumping up and down and going crazy.
That's what happens when you're at the top.
Yeah, it is. It's part of it. But I think it's something that this team, because every team is different, it's something that's kind of new for them. You got to be hooked up every single pitch, which you should be anyway. But it goes to a whole new level when you're ranked first, second, third, fourth in the country, kind of like we were. And the pitching staff is all new, so that's kind of what we've been trying to figure out here early, is just what roles, who needs to start, and who has the makeup to come out of the bullpen. And the high school games where you play 7 innings and the starter goes 7, you don't have to make those decisions, who can come in and get the last 6 outs a lot of times. So that's really where you see the difference at this level. Most games are won or lost in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning.
Yeah. And you mentioned, the season's getting started, and looking ahead at the conference games starting in a few weeks, what are some aspirations and goals for your team this upcoming season, and what are the steps you think are necessary to achieve them?
Well, we want to win the conference. That's huge in this Region 14 South and Region 14 East. If you win the conference, you get to host the regional. And then if you win the regional, you get to host the super regional, the higher seed. So if the 2 seeds match, you go to a neutral site. So to be able to play at home in front of our home fans, that's what makes Blinn special to me, is just the town of Brenham. They're kind of the self-proclaimed baseball capital of Texas. And there's a lot of truth to that. They love baseball down here, bluebell and baseball. Really nothing else, right? So I think to do that, you just have to play good baseball every single day. That's the whole key. It's easy to kind of play good when there's a lot of scouts in the stands and a lot of D1 coaches there to watch you play. It's not so easy when you're on the road in those 16-inning, 115-degree heat, 1:00 in the afternoon, and there's 5 people in the stands. Like, can you be good on those days? The team that can do that is usually the team that's going to end up winning the conference at the end.
Yeah. Again, we got head coach of Blinn, Dusty Hart. Sorry about that. Can you share any memorable moments or highlights from your coaching career that have had like a lasting impact on you?
Obviously winning the national championship in 2008 is probably the top of that mountain. You know, it's a pretty neat experience still to this day. I mean, I was talking to some guys off that team the other day that, we were talking about just the things that happen on the bus, just little insignificant things at the time that it ends up being the most impactful. Just like the songs they were playing, just stuff like that, that guys still remember almost 20 years later, and so that was by far the biggest moment of my career. As a player, winning the state championship in high school, when I was at Lubbock, Monterey, we won the 5A. Of course, back then, 5A was the highest level. So I was pretty lucky. I mean, I got to play for Coach Bobby Magel, who was the all-time winningest high school baseball coach in the country when he retired. I went straight from him to playing for Tim Tadlock. At the time was the head coach at Grayson, who's now the head coach at Texas Tech. And so I had some really good mentors to look up to that really taught me the game. So I owe a lot to those two guys. I mean, I think I still do things every day in practice that I was doing in 1994 in high school baseball.
Yeah, for sure. As a coach, how do you handle getting family time? Because during the season, you're with, what's called the second family, So how do you separate the two, and how do you balance out the two?
I've got a really special wife. I can tell you that. She puts up with a lot. She's a single mom for basically four or 5 months.
Yeah.
It does take a toll. I mean, that's probably the hard part. I think that's the sacrifice you have to decide if you want to coach in college. Um, you know, I've missed a lot of my own kids' high school baseball games and
Yeah.
volleyball games. My daughter's a volleyball player, and we had a little surprise 6 years ago. So we got a little 6-year-old girl that I'm missing a lot of her growing up right now. So it's definitely a juggle, and that's probably the hardest part about being a college baseball coach. But I love what I do, and they love me. I love them, obviously. So you just make those sacrifices and you do the best you can. But I want them to see us have success so they know that what we're doing every day and the time we miss with them is not just being wasted.
Yeah, for sure. Man, well, real quick for this next question. He mentioned his son, by the way. Guys, stud. Just so y'all know. He's a young dude. He used to come out and practice with us all the time. He's definitely he's already bigger than his dad. He can definitely take him down 100%. But yeah, he'll be a player, that's for sure. Well, kind of final question before we let you get out of here. And I know y'all go to McLennan tomorrow.
Yeah, to McLennan tomorrow. I think it's a 2:00 start tomorrow, and then we actually moved Saturday to Sunday. So we're playing at 1:00 in Brenham on Sunday just because of the rain forecast on Saturday. So
there you go. Well, final question. I noticed next weekend we got to talk about it because it didn't happen last year. You got the first time since your departure, you're playing the home team, the alma mater, Grayson, right? In Brenham, though. So you're not making the home return yet. But what is that kind of just going to be like? You think the emotions will be running high, and then are you ready to kick that ass or what?
You know what? Honestly, I don't even think about it. I mean, it was just time for me to do something else. 20 years at one place is a long time. I love my time there. Obviously, I love all you guys, everybody that played for me there. I've got nothing but great memories at Grayson. We won a lot of baseball games. So I think with that was my first and only job. That's what's crazy. I don't know that a lot of people know that. Like I was 21 years old and I was Tim's assistant when I first started, and I spent 4 years as his assistant and then 16, 17 years as the head coach. So I was going on, if you count the 2 years I played, I mean, we're talking 23 years. And I was almost just ready to try something else. I mean, I don't know if it's that easy, but I am kind of looking forward to playing them. I think Coach Cal Hernandez, the new guy they hired, he's going to be a really good coach. I think he's doing a good job, and they're not in our region, so I don't really care what they do. We don't have to beat them. So if we got to
There you
beat them
go.
in the World Series, then so be it, you
There you
know.
go.
But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be weird probably seeing the name across
Oh
in the other
yeah.
dugout, but I'm
Bing,
kind of looking forward to it.
Bing's still there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, old Bean.
Old Bing, old tie. But man, we appreciate you coming on with us, being our first coach segment. Good luck. Obviously, this weekend, big matchup, and then the rest of the season, we'll be following along. Go get a natty again.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks,
sir.
Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Y'all have a
Sir.
good one.
Thank
You too.
All right. That was the man, the Dusty Hart, man. Legend in the coaching circle. Definitely go down as one of the top JUCO coaches in the state of Texas for sure. Ever,
Go
man.
Blinn. I hope they make that run this year.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Well, about to join us right now is our next roundtable chat, like we've been seeing with our baseball players. He's going to be joining us right now. Is the man. Let's see. He gets his camera on.
There you go.
You see me, Ralph?
There he
What up,
is.
Coop?
What up, J Mac?
The man joining us
You see me,
now.
Ralph?
Yeah, we can see you.
All right, good deal.
It's all
Good
right,
deal.
man. You look good. You look fancy. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Hey, how's
But-
that setup there, Ralph?
It's fire, right?
I like it.
Hell yeah. Come on now. Come on. But joining us now is past Baylor baseball player and current player in the Washington Nationals organization is Jared Mackenzie. Past fifth round, right? Fifth round pick.
Fifth round.
Fifth round in
Yep.
2022. Career batting average of 241 with I think 50 ribbies in the minor leagues last year and a half, I guess you could say. How are we doing, man?
Good. Hopefully get that 241 batting average up a little bit here in the next couple of years. But
That's
we're
not
working
bad. That's
on
not
it.
bad.
It's part
We're
of
working on it.
It's part of it, man. But
Yeah.
we'll get it started off, man. Going to share a little bit about your journey from in baseball from kind of start first year at Baylor or so, and then kind of how you ended up to where you are now in the Nationals organization.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off, I think, going into Baylor, I had an opportunity to start as a freshman. Their entire outfield crew was leaving. And so I basically I didn't really have too many opportunities out of high school that were super big. Baylor was the biggest probably. And so I was super fortunate and blessed to go there. And, I kind of made a role for myself early on, and I knew center field was probably going to be the spot I was in, just kind of based off the fall. And after the fall, started there every game. Granted, it was only 16 games. We had a good little squad that first go around. Nevin, who's with the Dodgers, he was in left. We were both freshmen, left and center. Our right fielder he's with the Blue Jays now. Transitioned as a pitcher. And then obviously our shortstop was Nick Lofton. He was a first rounder that year. Andy Thomas was a catcher. He's with the Giants now. I mean, we had some talent, plus a couple of arms that got drafted. I mean, we were good. And then COVID hit and kind of threw everything in a whirlwind. But then, I don't know, I basically just kind of tried to pick up where things left off after my freshman year, and had a pretty good sophomore year. Struggled a little bit early on my draft year. I think I put a little bit too much pressure on myself, but sometimes that's baseball and that happens. And but no, fortunately I was able to be selected in 22 and got my first year under the belt now. So just trying to continue on and live the dream.
There you go. It's my boy J
Yep.
Mac, baby. It's my favorite.
That's right, Coop.
What aspects of your game do you feel you most improved on since you were just a young buck at Baylor?
Yeah, I think outfield. Hitting's kind of always gotten me where I am. I think I've always kind of had a natural hit tool, The game in pro ball is definitely different than college, but and that's an adjustment at the plate. But I think as far as the outfield, I actually had the opportunity. My outfield coordinator is Coco Chris my first year. So yeah, with the Red Sox for a while, A's, Guardians, you name it. But man, I didn't know that you could know so much about the outfield, and whether it was cuts and relays, just footwork, balls against the wall. I mean, that dude had a brain like no bunting too. Like that's another aspect of the hitting side. But I just think ultimately, just defense. Every little step, every millisecond you can to make a play faster. He had a way and idea of what to do. So he by far taught me a lot early on.
Thank you. You played a lot of baseball at all different levels. What do you say your most memorable moment of all of it was? If you can just narrow it down to one or two.
Yeah. Well, I had the opportunity to go play in the Cape, Cape Cod, and that was the summer of 21. And speaking of that, I just got done having dinner with my host mom from the Cape. She's down in Austin, and she still lives up there, whatever. Man, she's probably early 70s, late 70s, just an awesome, sweet lady. And man, for me that summer, I lived with Jared Southard, who he pitched at University of Texas. He's with the Angels. He's still down here, so we grabbed dinner with her tonight. But that summer for me was kind of a big transition as to here's a glimpse of pro ball, the day to day, playing every single day, being around guys who are super, super talented. But just being up there in the Cape in general, I think that was by far one of the coolest baseball experiences that I'll forever hold on to.
No doubt. Big, Mr. Big Time over here, Round Rock legend, Jared Mackenzie,
No.
Nationals organization, which is crazy. There's 3 fellow Dragons now in the Nationals organization, which is insane. And,
3, yep.
Mason Thompson, J-Mac, and then old Travis Sakura.
Yep.
But,
Travis Sakura struck me out at Instructs here in this past September. He got me good.
I mean, it's all right, man. It's all right.
So he throws about 100, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you kind of talked about the differences in the game, kind of from obviously to the pros to even just at the Power 5 level. What would you say, if you had to narrow it down, has been the biggest difference you've seen personally from that Power 5 level now, even just in the minor leagues, but still playing with all these dudes who are just straight pros, dogs?
Yeah. I tell this to people a lot. The level of baseball from low A to high A, double A, triple A, whatever, you have your guys who are extremely talented. And you can see those guys. I mean, just everybody's talented, don't get me wrong, but just off the charts talented. And those being like the Sotos, the Mike Trouts, the Judges, like there's guys in systems who are just freaks. But other than that, it's pretty much pretty consistent, across the board as far as talent goes. The biggest factor I think of who continues to trend upward is how consistent can you be. I think for me, mentally is one of the biggest challenges from college to pro ball. And then just the pitching. You see your good Friday arms in college, being in the Big 12, and you had your good couple relievers, but ultimately, you see guys like that every single night, and if not better, some of them. And so that's kind of an adjustment. And the fastball, you have a lot of orgs now telling people throw that induced, that fastball at the top of the zone. You still have your sinker guys that locate down and away, but people who have a good ride and good care on their fastball, if they can live at the top of the zone, it truly is a tough pitch to really get a handle of. So I think that's the biggest adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best of the best. It's talent everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So,
Pretty much.
but what advice would you give to a current high school player or even a college player that's looking to play at the next level?
Man, it sounds cliche, but you got to enjoy it. And I have to remind myself that too, because it does become a job sometimes. You're at the field from noon to 10 every day, and you get your Mondays off, but noon to 10 playing baseball, it's what you dream of. But at the same time, you have to put yourself in a position to say, man, there's a lot of people who would like to be doing this. Make sure to have fun, make sure to enjoy it, because at the end of the day, whenever my time is done, you know, I'm blessed that I've had this opportunity, and just to not take it for granted. And if you want to, people who want to play at that highest level, continue to work hard, because it doesn't get easier, but enjoy every step of the way. And just remind yourself of that.
Yeah, you kind of you kind of touched on that. What is the grind like, especially in the minors? You hear about, buses all night, and then you have to,
Yeah.
play and jump on the bus again. What exactly is that like, and how, does it get old, or you just have your teammates to pull you through it?
You have your guys who, you're with the entire year. You have people who come in and out. And I think ultimately you just have to stay focused on the next day, because I mean, you'll look back and you're 20, 25 ABs, and that just happened in a week. You can't get caught up in what you did on Tuesday or Wednesday, because you still got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. And we had one bus ride. We played at our place in Wilmington, Delaware. That the game started at 7. We got done around 10, and game ended at 11, or the bus left at 11:30 that night, and we drove at North Carolina at about 9 in the morning. So sleeping on the bus, that was a brutal trip. And then from there we went to Greensboro, North Carolina, and then bus back. We got back around 2, 3 in the morning, just because we had a noon game on that Sunday. But that was a brutal one. Fortunately, which I don't think many high A's ever get to do, is go fly somewhere. We flew to Bowling Green, Kentucky. It was like a 15-hour bus ride if we did it, and thankfully we didn't have to do that. But other than the travel, that was pretty much the most of it. But I just think, yeah, day to day, you have to put yourself in a place where, first off, you're staying healthy to be in the lineup every day, but second off, don't get caught up in what you did yesterday, because yesterday's over with. You got the next day and the next day, and they just keep stacking on. That's the thing about pro ball. How many good days can you stack on?
Yeah. And speaking of, this will be your second spring training, right? So what does that look like for you, and what is spring training like, and what level do you think you'll be starting at this year in spring ball?
I'll just say spring training's chaos. It is people running everywhere. You got 180 people along with 50 members of staff, and you got 6 fields, and there's something going on at every single one of them. You're there having breakfast starting at 7:30 a.m. and you don't leave till 4. I mean, and that's spring training is a grind in itself. Prior to the season, honestly, the season's almost sometimes easier, because you get to sleep in and then go to the field and then go play, versus just waking up there all day, trying not to nap when you get back, because you'll screw up your sleep for the next day. But I think ultimately I'll probably start in high A. I just didn't finish too strong last year. We'll see how spring training goes. Maybe something work out, and the pieces fall into the puzzle where I might end up in double A. But at the end of the day, the goal is for sure to be in double A at some point by the end of the year, definitely, if not beyond.
There you go. Well, kind of last question. What's up, man? Last question before you get out of here, man. You kind of just mentioned it. The goal kind of get to that double A level towards the end of the year, but kind of looking elsewhere, kind of just as your team. I feel like the team aspect in the minor leagues kind of gets just overlooked a little bit whenever it comes to just winning games. What would you say that's kind of like with the team? And what are the kind of goals once that team kind of gets put together? Like, are dudes trying to go out there and like win that division, make it into the playoffs, or do they just kind of care about getting to that next level?
It's different than college, in a lot of ways, and that being one of them for sure. You know, everybody, you go to pro ball because you want to play in the big leagues. I mean, there's guys who, you know, that's a tough question in the sense that you try to be the team guy, but at the end of the day, too, you know, everybody is got one goal. I mean, for me, there's three positions in the outfield, and I don't care which one it is, as long as I'm in that lineup, you know, that's your goal. That's what you work towards. And so when you see, you know, you got to think about three at this level, three at that level. Plus, you know, it's not just three. There's another guy or two, just depending on, you know, what they have at each level. And so it is a competition every single day. But I have always been a firm believer in, if you go play and try and win every at bat for yourself, that's ultimately going to help the team. So, you know, it's kind of a mix of both worlds. You do lose a lot of competitive games and atmosphere like you had in college. Some of those Friday, Saturday night. I mean, I remember my first ever big game. It was like maybe the sixth game of the year. We played LSU at Minute Maid, and I was leading off as a freshman. There's 14,000 in the stands, and I was like, wow, this is sick. And you don't get any sort of environment like that in minor league baseball. So you have to kind of compete with yourself a lot of times, and just try and be better than the guy across from you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 9 versus 1. You want to throw a couple of umpires in there, it's 11 versus 1. What can you do to just make it 1v1? The game's as hard as any game there is, so trying to make it more complicated isn't very beneficial. So I just try to dumb it down as simple as I can. So
No doubt, man. That's what you got to do. When do you report? When you got to go up there?
March 7th, I'm headed out. So about
Coming up.
2.5, 3 weeks, something like that. Yep.
Get after it, man. We appreciate you coming on and joining with us to talk. You know, we've been having some dudes on every week. We had your boy Cole Posey now at
There we
Baylor,
go.
right? Last
Yep.
week, man. So we got to bring it on, but appreciate you coming on with us, and good luck this year. Go tear it up, man.
Definitely. I appreciate you all, and we'll hopefully get some more people on here that maybe I can give you all a word or two about.
Let's start with your other fellow Mason Thompson, Round Rock.
All right. There we go. All right.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Good luck this
Sounds
year.
good. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, cool.
All right. That was the man, Jared Mackenzie, aka J-Mac, Washington Nationals organization, man. Hopefully a big year incoming for him and the squad.
But that is a grind, man. Just, you know,
Playing ball.
It's your
playing
job,
ball,
man.
riding the bus, playing ball, take a nap.
Like in college, like people want to talk about in college, like how it's your job, and it is, but I mean, that's actually your job, especially those dudes who aren't blessed to be able to get drafted high and get a good signing bonus, right? That they kind of live off of, because I mean, you don't get paid too much to play in the minors, man. So
Yeah.
it's a job that you got to grind and stay in it and make it up and get to those higher levels. But that's what makes it fun. So,
Like Dusty said, you gotta love it. You know, you just gotta love it.
And you're gonna find out real quick if you kind of had it a little easy in college, right? When you get to the minors, ain't no one give two shits where you were or where you were drafted, because you're playing with dudes who were drafted in the first round. You're playing with dudes who were drafted in the 20th round, right? Everyone's so spread out, and just part of it. It's going to.
You're playing with guys that are, 27 and not, 20 years old and like got wife and a kid,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Trying to put food on the table.
Yeah.
So
100%. Well, man, I'm glad they were both able to join us on, J-Mac and Coach Dusty Hart. It was a good roundtable chat. I don't got nothing else. It's a big Obviously, baseball weekend. We got a couple big college basketball games. We'll see how UT does for our UT fans watching.
In the NBA All-Star game this weekend?
Yeah, it's in Indy. Wait, real quick. Did y'all see the video? I didn't send it to y'all. I saw it before we got on.
The court?
The court.
That looks clean. I know.
That's so sick, bro.
I wonder if it's going to be the same, like dribbling the ball though. Like, what is it? A clear
I don't
wood
know.
or what?
I don't know because like it said, like you're gonna be able to like see show replays on it, like show
It's sick. It's just gonna be. Think about dribbling the ball and all this stuff going though. It's gonna mess with your eyes. Who knows?
I don't know what it's gonna be like, but that's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing the All-Star game. There's gonna be 350 points put up between the two teams anyway.
Oh, if they like it, that's definitely something that every NBA team's gonna get.
And you gotta think about too, it's like I'm in all these little like sports economics classes and business classes right now. Like the amount of money
advertising.
Because they're gonna have sponsors on them too. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Yeah. That's going to be the most expensive advertisement there is now.
Yep.
Easily. I mean,
right when somebody's hitting the game winner, you have your logo of Nike down there or something. That's where it's like when Tiger Woods' ball just stopped there and then fell in.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, he's playing this weekend. What did he end up today? When I saw him, he was -1.
Well, I saw him shake one, so.
Hey, did you see the next shot after though from behind the tree? Up and down for par.
Baby. Oh, did he? He parred that.
I hope he can win one more, man. Show his son.
I think he shot even.
Yeah, he was
nothing too crazy.
What's the leader at though? It was like -6.
I think they got up to 7.
Yeah,
but
hopefully he makes the cut.
He should be able to make the cut. It's a signature event, so all the top dudes are playing. So there's only like 70-something dudes, but they're only cutting like
50 make it. I think 50 make it.
Yeah, they're not cutting very many dudes because it's not a big field. But man, that is all the time we have for you today on this fantastic Friday episode of the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. Man, all the socials, follow them. TikTok, go watch the clips. Instagram, watch the clips. Give the Twitter some love, man. We're gonna start posting then. Don't forget, of course, on the very own YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us a comment. Stay tuned for Tuesday's show, live show coming to you. We want you all in the comment section, giving us your hot takes, hot topics that you want us to talk about. Because, we can get a little crazy on here, too. So, what else?
This one can. Big boy? That one down there.
That one down there.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell, man. Y'all have a great weekend, whatever sport you may be watching that is no longer the NFL, though. So, enjoy it, and we will see you.
Not too long though.
Like 200 days.
It'll come back soon. We're good.
I mean, you'll have the diehard NFL fans who are going to be watching the combine for the 6 hours it's on every day. But exactly. There's one of them. But man, thanks for joining us on this Friday's episode. Thanks for our guests coming on. We will see y'all for the live show Tuesdays on the Edge next week. Peace.